Hello and welcome in, everybody. We are so excited to see you all here. I am going to ask you as you're coming in, would you drop a note in the chat and let us know where you're from? But would you also go and take this quick survey? We have partnered with the STEM Opportunity Alliance, and we're looking to gather some more information about career connected learning and what we can do to provide better programming around career connected learning. So if you could go, I swear to you, it's 3 minutes. I promise it's three. That's not just somebody saying that, like I took it. So 3 minutes. I mean, I tested it, obviously. It wouldn't be helpful if I took it. And while we're doing that, Boston, hey, Boston, I was just there a couple days ago. And Toledo, Ohio, I actually have been there this summer too. Uh, that's fantastic. Oklahoma, Texas, several Texas. Delaware, Seattle, shout out Seattle, Fresno, South Carolina, Pittsburgh, Gainesville, Florida. I was just looking at something in Gainesville, Florida. There's an RV park that has a very good lazy river in Gainesville, Florida. And now you know. Um, Christy in Monterey, California. I went to high school just on the other side of some mountains from there, and it was beautiful. Um, Newark, University of Delaware, fantastic. NOLA, hey, Kathy Smith from NOLA. Mableton, Georgia. Oh, I'm so glad that you're all with us. If you would do me a favor and take this survey, I promise you it's 3 minutes. We have partnered with the STEM Opportunity Alliance because we are wanting to know more about how people, volunteers, and educators and STEM professionals view career connected learning and what that means to you. Does it mean anything to you? Or is it just words that don't mean anything? That's important feedback for us. And also what resources you're using to support students, either as a volunteer or as somebody who works with students. Several from Seattle. I think that's the first time I've seen a city shown up twice. Beautiful. Glen Burnie, Maryland. I don't know where Glen Burnie is, but Maryland is beautiful. Cincinnati, welcome. St. Louis, Missouri, welcome in. Couple of Bostons, Arizona and Dallas. Good morning to those of you that it's morning to. Good afternoon to those of you who it's afternoon to. Good evening for any of you coming from Europe and beyond. Wisconsin, Iowa, Texas, another Pittsburgh, Western Mass. Bianca, where in Western Mass? Because I have a very close connection to the Berkshires, Northern New York, Pasco, Washington, Lake Charles, Louisiana, Albany, Longmeadow. Beautiful. Longmeadow is gorgeous. That's fantastic. Well, welcome everybody in. If you're taking the survey, I so appreciate you. If you're not, could you do it real quick? If you could scan the QR code, we're going to send this out. And also, my amazing producer and program manager for Engineers Week and Girl Day, Ellen, is dropping that into the chat. So thank you all, thank you all, thank you all for doing that. But I know that we're here for the 2026 e-week kickoff. So what I should tell you is that this webinar is being recorded, and if you have questions, you can drop them in the question box. I am obviously monitoring the webinar chat. I'm going to monitor the question box. Ellen is behind the scenes helping me do that also. Thanks everybody for being here. My name is Sarah Summers. That's the first time I get to say that because I got married a month ago. I was Sarah Moore, so it's the same. It's not like a doppelganger. Same Sarah. I am the marketing manager here at Discover Engineering, and I was a teacher. I was a middle school and high school teacher when Discovery pulled me out of the classroom to come and talk to all of you. Oh, thanks everybody. Thanks so much. My husband lives in Western Massachusetts, so that was my connection to Western Mass, to the Berkshires. It's a beautiful place if you have never been. Thank you all so much. What I would like to know is about you. I would like to know who are you and what is your role? Because that is really helpful to us as we're preparing these webinars. The things that we might tell an educator or a teacher or an after school leader is kind of different than what we might tell an engineer who wants to go volunteer in a classroom, or a technician or a university person or a library person. So if you could drop that, there's a poll in the chat. If you could do those magnet coordinators, yeah, yeah. And if you're not represented there, please specify that in the chat. STEM professional educator and STEM magnet coordinator, we love that. Volunteer for PT, for parent teacher, university staff. Oh, Girl Scouts STEM program manager. Shout out to the Scouts. Thank you all for sharing that information. That is excellent. I've got 3 seconds more, and then I will do this. Wisconsin dot. Shout out to the DOTs. We love the DOTs. We have majority engineer STEM professional here. So that is exciting to see. And a lot of university, college faculty and staff. That is interesting. We haven't had that one like that come in number 2 before. So I love to see that. You have told me who you are, and please keep dropping that into the chat. I would like to tell you a little bit about who we are at Discovery in case this is your first time coming to us. We have programs, we have resources, we have all kinds of things that might be useful to you in helping to inspire the next generation. Programs such as Chats with Changemakers, where a student host, this year Luke is from Wisconsin. I saw some people from Wisconsin in the chat. No, that might be wrong, Michigan. My producer's going to correct me here in just a second. Is from is a student, and Michigan. Oh, look at me remembering the MIT. I can remember things. And Michigan, Luke interviews real engineers and technicians, and people involved in STEM and engineering professions, so that classrooms all around the world can get that kind of direct connection to what engineers actually do, what engineering is all about. We also have Engineers Week. That's what you guys are here for, right? And Introduce a Girl to Engineering Day. World Engineering Day we support also, which is on March 4th. And then the Future City Competition, which is a massive, beautiful 80,000 students a year participate around the world from grades 6 to 12, and do what real engineers do. And we're very, very proud of it. If you are an educator, or you're a volunteer, you would like to judge, you would like to mentor, we desperately need you. I'm going to talk more about that for a minute. We also have resources. We have 170 plus STEM activities, at least a few more because we've uploaded a couple new ones in the last couple weeks. We have challenge videos, which take these engineering activities and we professionally recorded them so that they're interesting to watch and builds kind of a visual repertoire for students to follow along with. We talk about what is engineering for students. We have posters, ads, and artwork. We have a copyright-free photo library, so you don't have to go to ChatGPT to get those photos made. We've got them for you. We also provide outreach grants. That's right, friends. Outreach grants are open right now. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And we have online self-guided training. Our goal here in doing all of this is that we would really like to continue to inspire the next generation. So far, we've worked with 5.5 million students and parents and 300,000 volunteers and educators. It is such a pleasure to be able to continue to do that. Engineers Week is one of the ways that we do that. And Engineers Week is a time to celebrate engineering, and engage students in engineering. And we're super excited for Engineers Week in this upcoming year, 2026. As you can see, happens from February 22nd to the 28th, 2026. Cool little bit of lore, in case you didn't know, Engineers Week always happens around President Washington's birthday, which isn't always President's Day weekend, but does surround President Washington's birthday because he was the first land surveyor. Well, he wasn't the first land surveyor, but he was like the president. You know what I'm saying? He was the first important American land surveyor, right? Can I say it that way? So that's why we celebrate it in February. Somebody in chat, somebody in the question asked, will we get a copy of the slide deck? You will. you will get an email from us with links to a whole bunch of other webinars that we're doing, this slide deck, a coupon that's good, so that you can buy things off the store if you'd like to. So yes, absolutely, you will get a copy of this slide deck in your email in the next couple days. If you haven't heard about Girl Day happens on the Thursday of Engineers Week. February 26th, 2026 is the next one. And Girl Day is a time to really focus on engaging girls in engineering and technology. Now, of course, everybody's welcome to Girl Day events, but it really is a day that started many, many years ago, in order to help bring about that engineering is open to everyone. Right? That's the ultimate goal, that engineering is open to everyone. So Girl Day is a great time for us to focus some things for that. And since I already changed the slide, you can see the theme for 2026 is transform your future. And if you've been with Engineers Week for a few days, you notice that we've really followed the future theme for a couple of years. This, I think, is going to be the last one. We're already behind the scenes planning for 2027 Engineers Week. I think this will be the last future one. Don't 100% quote me on that. So we thought we'd make it a really good one. Transform your future. We are so excited to share this theme with all of you. We've got some new characters. If you've been following along, our characters have evolved every year. We've got some new characters for you. We've also got some different ways of viewing all of these resources that we give you. So I'd love to show you some more about that. Oh man, I'm excited about this. I've been planning this one for, I think Transform Your Future came to us in like 2023. Like, I've known that this is coming for a little bit, so I'm super excited about this one. We have some new things for you this year. Every year, we try to update and make better our selection of resources. We have a 4-page Engineers Week volunteer planning guide. This has been completely remodeled by our program manager, Ellen, who's also my producer today. Shout out to Ellen. And it has so much more in-depth information, and some great activities for you to try. It's also really beautiful, and you can get that now. We have the Engineers Week 2026 Educators Guide, which again has been remodeled. We have the Girl Day Planning Guide and the Discover Engineering Event Toolkit. All of those are currently available if you go to the eWeek page, or if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of our website, you will find one. You'll find a link that says logos and graphics, and downloadable resources, and that's where you will find a lot of this stuff. And speaking of those downloadable resources, we have so many things. We have logos for you to use. We have ads, quarter page ads that you can print or that you can publish. We have all kinds of social media graphics for you. We have certificates that you can print out and give. We have bookmarks in English and Spanish. We have Zoom backgrounds. Mine just says Discover Engineering, but I do have 4 new Zoom backgrounds for you. We have sample social media posts, so that you've got some sample language, and some other customizable language that you can use. And then we also have the Spanish versions. We started doing the Spanish versions a couple of years ago. We're happy to continue to do that. And I think I saw Claudia in the chat. We will, if you send us a different language, we can make the thing in a different language. We had Portuguese last year also, which was really exciting. So if you work with a population that speaks a different language, please reach out and connect to us. You can find us info@discovere.org, and I would love to chat with you more about that. And these are all the free downloadable resources that we have. But we've also got some new merch for you. We do have the new t-shirts. We do have the new tumblers. We do have the beautiful stickers. I've got a coupon for you in case you want to order. Can I also say that we all know that pricing might fluctuate based on the state of how things get shipped into the US. So what I can guarantee you is that the price is going to be what the price is right now, and this is the lowest that the price will be. The price might go up the closer that we get to Engineers Week, because we don't know what the cost of these things will be coming in. We don't order like 1,000 t-shirts up front. So If you know that you are going to get some t-shirts for your company or your outreach event, or you want to get some stickers, I would make those orders sooner rather than later. You can also reach out to us, and we would love to help you figure that out. Can we add logos to shirts? You sure can. Yeah, if you're interested in making a shirt, okay, Jennifer Martin, here is my negotiation with you. Yes, I would love for you to use the logos on the t-shirts. Absolutely. I would love to help you do that. If there is a specific graphic that you really want, reach out to me. I would love to help you with that. But if you're going to make your own custom shirts, you have to post them on social media and tag us because I want to see all of the amazing things that you are doing. So yes, I would love it if you would do that. Can you, Jennifer Martin is clarifying, can you add a logo to a shirt? If you buy a shirt from us, can you add a logo like from a Cricut machine or from, maybe you take them to a printer and they add them? Yeah, absolutely. But again, would you please post some pictures on social media and tag us? Because I'm the one who sees them all and I would love to see how that works. Yeah, I'd love to help you with that. If you're going to buy like more than, let's say 20, would you reach out to me? Because first off, I can do bulk ordering for people who have more than 20. Like they have to be like the Engineers Week shirt or the Girl Day shirt. I can do some bulk ordering. So reach out to us, info@discovere.org. We're going to do that. There was also Ellen, somebody asked, Ellen was already doing it, the link for free downloadable resources right there in the chat. Hot diggity dog. Those stickers are so cool. I love to see people use those stickers. We've got them in holograph, we've got them in glitter. Go and get those stickers. Okay, this is not the only webinar that we're doing to help prepare you for Engineers Week. This webinar, some of you might remember, used to be like an hour long. We're going to be out of here like in the next 10-15 minutes. Okay, we're making this launch webinar shorter, but that's because we want to talk to you in other ways about other more specific things with more time, right? And so we've got 4. Last year we did 3 extra webinars. This year we've added a 4th one. Planning events. If you are planning an eWeek event, please consider coming to this. We talk to people. We have a roundtable discussion of people who plan events for different organizations, museums, libraries, makerspaces, classrooms. And we talk about what are the best ways that we can plan events. And there's always something to learn. That happens on Giving Tuesday, which this year is December 2nd. It's going to happen at 12 p.m. ET. We also have Being an Effective Volunteer. If you are a STEM professional, or if you are planning an event and you work with STEM professionals who might be doing outreach during your event or at any time in the year, this is such a great webinar. And that will happen. I'm going to talk about all these more specifically in a second. We have Celebrating Engineers, which is really about how are we talking about celebrating engineers. So it's a communications and marketing webinar, essentially. What are you doing in your organization to celebrate engineers and Engineer Week? What are we doing? How can we all work together and plan to uplift the profile of engineering? And then finally, we have Teaching Engineering, which is, again, very specific for people who work hands-on with students, after-school programs, scouts, classrooms. Sorry, my cat needs out. I'm so sorry. What kittens, man. Shout out to the kittens that are always plaguing us at home. We have these 4 different webinars. So the first one, again, as I said, is planning events. And we will be sending these Zoom links, but Ellen's also popped them into the chat. And as I'm talking about planning events, I should mention that we have outreach grants available right now, only for another 3 weeks. The deadline is November 3rd. These grants are from $250 to $1,000. And we have Engineers Week and Girl Day grants. And you have to be running your event like from February to April of 2026. So like during that Engineers Week period, If you are interested in applying for an outreach grant, I strongly encourage you to. But as I said, that clock is ticking. You've got just over 2 weeks. So go and do that. At the planning events webinar, we're going to look at the event toolkit. We're going to talk about a step-by-step way of hosting, engaging engineering events, and we're going to talk to people who are already doing it. I can't share with you who they are right now, but we've got a couple of pretty amazing people who we're excited to talk to. And it's different people than last year if you came to last year, so something new to be gained. And it's just a good time to network and get together and chat about what we're doing. So we'd love to have you there. The next one that we're doing after that is in January, being an effective volunteer. Our Deputy Executive Director, Thea Saar, presents this, and she is very she goes through what is the formula for success? What are the things that we have to do to help a student build their STEM identity and to have a positive engineering experience? So she talks about what we know it's a formula for success. We've got lots and lots of research and years of educators and outreach and volunteers telling us that this works. So we're also talking about how do we talk about engineering? We need to share things like engineering is well paid, it's open to everyone. All of that messaging work comes from our year-long research report called Messages Matter, which you can go and download at the Messages Matter page. If you're interested, we released it 2 years ago, so it's still very current. And it has really, really great information if you work with engineers or STEM professionals, or if you are working in a field of we should introduce people to this. It's a really good resource for you. The next webinar that we've got will be another webinar hosted by myself, and it's celebrating engineers. And we're going to talk to communications professionals, and we're going to talk about how do we celebrate Engineers Week through email, through print media, through social media, through just the morale of how are we talking about it at our organizations. And so we'd love to have you come and participate if you are interested in spreading the message about Engineers Week. I love this photo so much. This kid is so into this activity. Hands-on activities with role models. That's where it's at. So we've got a whole bunch of ideas for how you can celebrate engineers, and we would love to share more with you about what that looks like. And then finally, our fourth webinar this Engineers Week cycle is around teaching engineering. And it is very practical. We're going to talk about the engineering activities we have. We're going to talk about kind of that STEM formula for success. We're going to talk about the engineering design process and how to guide students through that, and how to be positive and how to build inquiry skills. I'm super excited. Obviously, as a former teacher, this is a subject matter that is near and dear to my heart, and I love to do professional development with my colleagues. So I would love if you would come and attend those. We'll also get to share about those challenge videos, which are so good if you haven't seen them yet. So once again, these are the 4 webinars that we're going to be doing. I'm just going to give everybody a chance to see if there's any questions or other comments. I feel like I've been talking a bazillion miles a minute. Candace, yes. Candace asks, are we able to share this webinar with others? You absolutely are. We would love for you to do that. In fact, we will send you a link to the webinar, to the slide deck. And yeah, we would love for you to share this out. That's so gracious. Thank you so much. And you can also register for all of our webinars. We've got a brand new page. I've been working on it this summer, discovere.org/events. Shows all kinds of different things that we're doing. We're so excited to show you that. I would be remiss if I did not talk about 2 other programs that we do here at Discover Engineering. One is Chats with Change Makers. And if you've never seen it before, this is what I was talking about before. The student host interviews engineers, technicians, people who work in engineering careers. We had on somebody who worked in HR and employee development last year. And that was one of my favorite ones, if I'm honest with you. Not that I have favorites, but it was. And they are short. They're 20 to 30 minutes. And they're interesting if you are a professional, because it's just cool to hear somebody else talk about how they are engaged. When somebody is excited about something, it's just good to hear somebody else be excited about it. But also, we know that this works for students. 94 basically percent of respondents on our survey agreed that students were more interested in engineering careers after having watched an episode. So if you are an educator or you work with students, you can send them to these. These are all like safe for children to watch. They are aimed at that kind of middle grades, like grades 4 to 12 situation students. So there's not anything you're going to need to be worried about subject matter wise or language wise. And kids can watch these and get excited and get to meet real engineers and technicians who are doing the work, and get to see themselves represented, which we know is so important. Role models matter. So if you are a professional, get into a classroom, get into a scout group, get into a 4-H, get into a library or a makerspace, get out there and share what you're doing, because role models matter. The other big program that we offer is called Future City. I see Bob Johnson in the chat, so I know that we were going to get blasted if we didn't, but of course we do, because we love Future City here. Future City is where we ask student teams to imagine, design, and build cities that exist 100 years in the future, and specifically around a sustainability challenge. So this year's sustainability challenge is farm to table. We're asking teams to think about the ways that food is grown and provided to citizens, addressing all kinds of surrounding topics to that. Students become the engineers and they get really hands-on. These are educator-led teams. We offer this as a middle school program, so grades 6 to 8, and as a high school programs, grade 9 to 12. The high school program, students can win up to $10,000 scholarships, individual scholarships, which is huge. Middle school teams win up to $10,000 for their school's team. Some of them win more. If you win more of the awards, obviously you win more. So yes, we love Future City here. We are so proud of it. The deadline for competition registration is October 31st. You can get the resources free. So if you teach maybe grades 3 to 5, or even honestly kindergarten, there are pieces where students have to build physical models out of recycled materials. I could do that with a kindergarten class, and talk about city design, right? And get them hands-on and get them thinking about things. But we also need volunteers to serve as mentors and judges. So if you work with students, please look into Future City. If you don't directly work with students, but you work in engineering, whether that's at a university level. I'm sorry, if you don't work directly with students in grades 6 to 12, we really desperately would love to have you come and help us support these students. It takes 4,500 plus adults every year to make Future City run. And so we need you. We need volunteers, mentors, judges, regional people to serve as judges at regional competitions. If you live in the DC metro, the DMV, we need you to come and be an in-person volunteer. So please come and help us. You can learn more at futurecity.org. I'm so excited for Future City. I love it. It's one of my favorite things that I get to work on. Questions? Do you have any? Is my question to you. If you have any questions, now is a great time to pop them in the chat. I promise that today's webinar is going to be short. And look, we've done it in under 30 minutes. We are so excited to launch this year's theme of Transform Your Future. We can't wait to see what you all do with that. And there's so many puns, but it's a Wednesday after a long weekend, so I'm going to hold on those. We're so excited to see what you do with the theme of Transform Your Future. All of the resources, the store is live, the downloadable resources are live. You can go in there and get that. You can sign up for those webinars. Come and join us for Engineers Week next year. Santi, a volunteer judge for Future City. Oh, thank you so much for volunteering. We appreciate you so much. Thank you to everybody who attended. A special huge thanks to Ellen, our program manager for Engineers Week and Girl Day, who puts in umpteen hours of work getting ready for all of this all year long. So thank you and shout out to Ellen, because we are prepared for everything because of her. I'm starting to see questions pop in, so I'm going to start answering those. And I will, if I don't see you before the end of this chat, I will see you next time. Thank you guys for attending. Let's see. Okay, there's a whole bunch. There are competitions. Yes, future city competitions happen in January for both middle school and high school. Somebody volunteered but hasn't heard back. Yes, I'm so sorry about that. We are busy trying to get 2,200 educators into the system and getting ready for competition. If you have volunteered to be a judge and you haven't heard from us, or a mentor and you haven't heard from us, be a little bit patient. I promise you, judges we reach out to after October 31st. If you're volunteering to be a mentor and you haven't heard, please reach out to us, info@discovery or futurecity@discovery.org. Um, Kathy wants to know, do you recommend organizations apply to one or both of the grants if we have appropriate projects to consider? If you have appropriate projects, like separate projects, my advice would be don't use one to apply to both. But Ellen, please correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. But if you have two projects and they apply to the separate grants, yeah, please, would you please do that? Is there additional document guidelines for the grants? Yes, the outreach grant page is your friend. You can find it if you go to our website, discovery.org. The outreach grants are linked on the front page right now, I think. And if they aren't, they will be right after this meeting. And we'll drop a link in chat. There is so much more information about the outreach grants on that page. Additional organizations. Candace asks, are there additional organizations that we can leverage to support STEM events at school? Absolutely. Absolutely. Please reach out to your local societies, your engineering societies. NSB, the National Society for Black Engineers; SHIP, the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers; ASCE, the Civil Engineers; NSPE, the National Society of Professional Engineers. I'm not going to list them all because there are many, 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 many. APWA. Oh man, no, don't get me started on listing them because I'm going to inevitably forget somebody, and I don't want to because they're all really, really good. If you Google engineering societies in your town or city, there will be engineering societies near you, and they absolutely would love to be able to get some volunteers out to you. IEEE, thank you, Bob Johnson. Yes, absolutely. So there are. Is there a future city competition for elementary school? Some regions do offer a junior competition for grades 4 and 5. You can download the free resources though, no matter what, and use them for yourself. Currently, we do not offer the official competition is 6 to 8. Some regions offer a junior competition. So I would say go and download the resources. Is there any travel for students? It depends on Future City High School or middle school. Future City High School is a virtual qualifying round. Future City Middle School offers regional qualifiers, and those happen in whatever region you live in. And so, like, yes, there's going to be some travel unless you happen to live in the city that the regional competition is in, if that makes sense. And projects are submitted. Some projects are physical and you take them to competition. Some projects are digital and you submit them on the Future City dashboard at futurecity.org. Man, I think I got everything. Estimating water usage to grow food and scientist mentors. Yes, Michelle Markowski, you're so right. We would love if you have, maybe they're not engineers or technicians, but they're scientists, particularly around food. Yeah, we would love for them to volunteer for us as mentors, as judges. Yeah, please. We would love to be able to connect with them. That would be amazing. So I think those are all of them. Hello, Linda from Maine. What part of Maine? I drive through Maine all the time because I live just north of you. And my husband lives in Massachusetts right now. So I drive through Maine all the time. Mid Coast, beautiful. Brunswick has, here's a travel tip from Sarah before I end this webinar. If you ever end up in Brunswick, Maine, there is not a subway, but like submarine shop called Sam's Italian Foods. They've got them like all over the middle of Maine. They're real good, but the one in Brunswick is the best. I wish they would sponsor me. Okay, thanks everybody for attending this theme launch. We are so excited for Transform Your Future. We can't wait to celebrate Engineers Week with you in just a couple of months. Thanks everybody for being here. We're going to see you in December at the Planning Events webinar.